Bryn Bella Guest House, better Sequoid. We moved to Bryn Bella in 2003, so we're up to 10 years now, and I didn't think I'd make it past 5, but there we go. Both my wife and I love walking and climbing, and that was one of the reasons why we moved full-time up to Snowdonia. We were both, at that time, had hectic jobs in and around London. I was flying all around the world on business, which sounds exotic, but trust me, the tipping point came when I got flown down to Melbourne on the back of a trip to Oslo. So I came back from Oslo, my luggage didn't. I then had 3 business class flights, London, Dubai, Singapore, Melbourne. I was on the ground 24 hours and came back on the same plane. I didn't know where I was, nor did my luggage. So it was at that point that we decided this is crazy, let's do what we enjoy most, let's try and find a way out of it. So we took this place on as well, it's a retirement project really. I've never worked so hard in all my life. Two options in our area, and I'm sure most rural economies are the same, tourism or farming, and I was never going to be a farmer, so we looked for the right place and found this, fell in love with it, and the rest is history, as they say. At the time, we weren't committed to any green initiatives. Sad thing is, as I say, my wife's at the time was a finance director for a multinational. I come from a finance background, but we were tight on costs, and we understand that if you're going to make any profit, you've got to keep tight control on costs. So we came from that mean, not green background. We wanted to control what waste we had, because waste is money. And that's how we started. And all of a sudden we realised, actually, the two are parallel courses. As we heard earlier, if we cut down on the waste, we actually improve our bottom line. Our clientele is broad-based, to be honest. We don't specifically market to the green tourist. Where we are, it's a general tourist area. We've got everything. You know, it's just been rebadged as Snowdonia, the heart of adventure. We've got coasting, we've got golf, we've got walking. So it's a really mixed bag. I'm not convinced how people find us because they want the green alternative. But what is good for us is we can show them what can be done very simply. And they actually go away somewhat amazed at how simple things all add up. So we get a kick out the education side as much as anything, but we're covert, not overt in your face. Bryn Bella, large Victorian house built in the 1870s, stone walls, so no cavity wall insulation there. Roof space, yeah, that was open, nothing up there. It did have double glazing through 3/4 of it, we've now double glazed a lot. Lots to do, lots of big issues. We wanted to keep character, but we wanted to try and make it as efficient as possible. First thing we looked at was water. When we took it over, it wasn't on a water meter. As soon as we registered the business, they said, "Oh, you're a business now, let's put a water meter in." That hit us. So we started looking at water harvesting, and I suspect, like yourselves, one advantage of living on an island in the middle of a big ocean, we get water every direction. It comes down, and boy does it rain. So we started harvesting it, and we started off with a water butt on each downpipe, and we're now up to 25. We're on solid rock, so I can't dig in on these lovely water harvesting systems. We just keep it plain and simple. And I think that's what we've done throughout the whole business. We've not necessarily gone for the high-tech approach. We've kept it simple, and it pays dividends. And that comes back to informing our guests. If they can see the small things at low cost, it's more likely to be taken on board. We're now, we've got loads of water. We can get through one of those water butts when we do have a good summer in a day. So we're continually reusing our water. I've got a grey water harvesting system from some of the showers, and that keeps us topped up as well. People were laughing at us last year because we had such horrendous rainfall. They weren't laughing this year. We came into their own very nicely. We also make use of every small space to grow, okay? But we only grow what we use. I was talking to some people last night, and you know, it's the usual thing, let's grow beans, let's grow turnips. I don't like beans and I don't like turnips, so why grow them? Well, what we do grow, on the right hand side, above the water butts, in containers, we've got salads. And there's nothing better than going out in the morning and picking a few leaves for salads. Above them, we've got strawberries in hanging baskets. They go out onto the table. On the other side, in hanging baskets, we've got tomatoes, beautiful complementary for the salads. We've got a seed area underneath, and we've got lots and lots of herbs. So everything is fresh, and the aromas are fantastic. Next thing we looked at was solar power. Now, the big problem we've got is this house was built way before we thought about solar power. And of course, it's facing the wrong direction. I'm facing east-west, not south. I've got limited roof space. And what you can't see there is we do actually get quite a lot of shadow in all the wrong places. So photovoltaics would have been nice, but they're not really an option. But what we were able to do early on, once we got agreement with the National Park Authority, was to put 2 solar panels for the hot water, one back, one front. And bearing in mind we're burning oil as our main source of energy, anything we can do has got to be good. We have investigated biomass, and we've investigated photovoltaic, and sadly at the moment the time is not right. But like the solar, technology is changing all the time, so we've just parked those ideas, and when the time is right we will come back and revisit them. One of the things we do is regularly monitor our usage of energy. And this is a work in progress for this year, but the trend is good. The trend is downward. What we've managed to do, in 2002 we reduced our oil usage by 11%. Our projected usage in 2013 is a further reduction, total reduction of 23%. We had a similar reduction of 13% in our electricity usage, and we're still projecting a reduction of 22% for this year. And whilst our water usage has gone down year on year, we're actually getting rebates back now from the water company, which is quite nice. And all of that is through management of the little items. I've got no big machinery in there, no computer driven. This is literally going around doing the basic things, switching off, turning off, making sure everything is maintained to its highest efficiency. We're very lucky where I live in Betws. We have a railway line, we have the 2 main roads of the area. One, as you probably may be aware, coming from Holyhead all the way to London, goes right through Betws. We also have the main road from Llandudno in the north to Cardiff in the south, and they cross. And that's really the only reason Betws is there. Later, the Victorians, lovely tourists they were, they put the train in, so we've now got a railway. And it's still working. That's obviously not the mainline train, but we do have a lot of people come here for our little trains, which North Wales is famous for. So Betws, we are lucky, is a hub, a transport hub, so you can get up to Snowdon and all around. And this is one of the things that we actually promote, and we make it easy for people to get around by public transport by showing them just how easy it is. We threw a challenge down to some journalists in London, travel journalists. If you get the 7 o'clock train from Euston, you can get all the way up to Llandudno, down to here, you can be on Snowdon by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, all by public transport. Sadly, they didn't take it up. They said, write up the story and we'll print it, which is what we did. The natural progression for us then of our transport policy was providing electric charging points. Now, we were the first to put electric car charging points, first guest house in Snowdonia to do that. It's a real chicken and egg situation. Without charging points, you can't get the cars. Without cars, why put the charging points? Zero Carbon World, charity dedicated to improving the network of EVs, provided the charging points, I pay for them, it's a no-brainer. That is an electric vehicle. That's 260 odd mile range, 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. They're no longer milk floats. They're one of the biggest increasing methods of transport year on year. Nissan, Renault, leaders in our country at the moment, and I'm sure they are over here. So we think that's a natural thing, and our customers can charge for free, because what it cost me is next to nothing by comparison to commission we pay to booking agents. Working in partnership with other local companies, Purple Moose Brewery, great place, nice beer. They have a problem with waste hops. What do they do with the waste hops? I go down, I pick up a case of beer, and I've got as many hops as I can get in the back of the car, bring them back, use them as mulch, weed suppress them. The great advantage there is, your garden for a few days later smells like your best pine. You've just got to be careful you don't overdo it. We grow plants next to our vegetables. Here we've got potatoes going in, and you can see it's traditional rain that we sow them in. We've got lots of raised beds, mainly because I'm not getting any younger. But we are always planting vegetables and plants together. It just makes perfect sense. There's not a spare space we don't utilise. But the harvest is just fantastic. And we like showing our guests, and they suddenly realise, well, I've only got a balcony, but you can do so much. We team up with a lot of local businesses who've got a similar ethos to us. This is Richard, he's quite a character, and we start doing foraging and bushcraft with him. Guests go off in the morning, he sorts them out, they go fishing, they go foraging, cook their lunch, come back to us smelling the wood smoke. We have our own hens. Hens are great. All our hens are recycled as well. They're all ex-battery hens. Lovely kids, and they keep us supplied with eggs. See there, the bedding is all our old paper, okay? We use everything twice, so both sides. When we finish with that, goes through the shredder. When it's finished with that, goes through the chicken bedding, and then onto the compost. Anybody who wants to seal my identity after that, they're welcome. Compost corner. All our food waste is composted on site. Okay, either compost bins, bokashi, wormeries, you name it, we've got it. We're now up to 6 compost bins, and why waste it? What I would say is, in parting, benefits of going green. Not necessarily from an ideological point of view, but quite simply, the benefits of going green for your business are phenomenal. The amount of publicity and coverage we've got over the last 10 years of going down this path is just fantastic. When you look at column inches in national, local papers, on radio, TV, it's a good news story. The press are biting their hands off, and we've been very successful in marketing the guest house on the back of green tourism. I often joke, I actually run a marketing company with a guest house attached to it, because a lot of our time, when you finish with the beds, bogs and breakfast, is all about promoting the business. And this is a good news story. And if you don't take it on board, then you're wasting a great opportunity. And I shall end it there.